lengthen out, loading that bar. Good. Let it out. Good, now step in.
The number one cause of death in America is heart disease. And for 65% of men and for 50% of women, their first time presenting ever with heart disease is with either a heart attack or sudden death. So it's really important to recognize. And not only is it the most common cause of death, it's very prevalent, which means most of us have it. 90% of kids that are 12 years old in this country have the beginnings of this disease. We can actually measure it. One is they need to learn to recognize stress in their lives, how they feel when they feel stressed, whether it's a knot in their stomach or it's sweaty palms or it's a dry mouth. It's when they get anxious. What is the feeling when they get stressed? And then effective ways to deal with stress. Once you learn how to manage stress, it's much more likely to develop a really balanced diet and to develop an exercise routine.
Tap the arch, tap that, tap the arch. So we're skating. Watch the ice. Drive up centers of the feet. Good. Elevate. Good. That's it. Throw it in. Good, Barbara. 3 more. 1. I think it started back in the 80s. Even though we have a lot of faults with the 80s, with how hard we were all working out, it kind of set that trend for that generation. So people who are 60, 70, 80 now were doing all the Jane Fonda workouts, all the step aerobics. Even though they were breaking down their bodies, they got that competitive spirit. So for the clients that I'm training now that are in that age bracket, even though I have to do a lot of rehab work with them to keep them going, they are the most competitive. And I'm being serious. My 20-year-olds are wimps compared to my 70 and 80-year-olds. Bring the sticks in, balls with the feet, we're in the air, we're doing our ski. Oh, look at me, look where you're going. Nice, now with exhale. With an exhale. They're fighters, but they're also silly. You know, there's just such a cool sense of humor about it. We don't take anything too seriously. The last thing I ask a client when they come in is, how old are you? Because right off the bat, that puts that age in between us. So when an old person comes into the gym, the first thing I do is give them an assessment like I would give a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, and their fitness level governs what we're going to do. Pick up the blue ball behind you. Pick up the blue ball behind you. Arrogant chest. Stick that chest out. One more time. Turn your nose up. And good job. Step up. Feel good? Good strong breath. Fill up my hands with air. 3 more. And you can step in. So I'm going right shoulder.
I've always worked out, so it's not new to me. And it's kept my body able to do things, to play tennis, to move. So it's just very important to me. Most of my friends at my age are unable to work out because they haven't done so throughout the years. I mean, it's part of my everyday routine.
Slow motion. Let's come up onto the ball. Pull those sticks in close.
The irony of this is that I made a film that won an Oscar, and it was about old people. And I never dreamt that I would one day be an old person, and here I am. But this whole workout thing is a funny experience, because I don't know that I wouldn't be in just as good shape without it. So you're doing it sort of to hold off something that you don't know will or will not happen.
Now bring it, hold it there, put it all into this hip flat and drag straight up.
I don't love it. I do it because I love the trainer that I work with. He's full of life. He doesn't treat me like a geezer, and he's not condescending. And in many places in the outside world, people are very polite and condescending. Not here. And also, it's old-fashioned for me because I'm used to lessons. I took loads of lessons when I was growing up. This is training. This is like a lesson.
I've changed my eating habits. I have far greater energy as a result. I'm able to work harder, concentrate better, and essentially have improved my lifestyle.